guys, it's B. Welcome back to my channel, Unify, or if this is your first time, welcome. I am coming to you today on June 20th, 2024. It is the day of the summer solstice and the day before the full strawberry moon that will be moving into the sign of Sagittarius. I wanted to hop on today and do a different kind of reading for you guys. If you watched my month ahead video for June, at the end I mentioned I wanted to get into pick a cards and that I would be doing one for the second half of 2024, which will be coming up. But with this huge shift of the summer solstice and this full moon like happening back to back, I really wanted to come on and do a pick a card for this energy, for what you can expect to happen with this shift in energy over the next, we'll say 48 hours because it's the next couple days, but I'll say like, in the very near future. So like the next week or two would be like the time range. But yeah, so I'll be doing a pick a card reading for you guys today. I am using a few new decks as well, a couple that I've not used, I don't think, on my channel before, or just period. And then a couple that you guys may have seen. So to draw the cards for each pile, I'm going to use this shamanic healing deck. And quick little story that's very interesting about this deck is this was gifted to me in a very unique way. So I've not used this deck at all before. I've just kind of had it sitting with my art supplies and my other decks under some selenite, charging for about a month now. But a month or so ago, my husband brought this to me after being given it from a random stranger. So to explain, my mother-in-law has a dog sitting business. And my husband was filling in for her to help pick up just a quick, like, 2-night job. And the person who gave this to them, or to him rather, lives down at Virginia Beach oceanfront, is a surfer. And he told my husband, after my husband was kind of just, they were chatting, my husband was letting him know who he was and all of that, and he was like, my wife is a reader. And the homeowner was like, I have something to give to you, and comes back with this oracle deck and is like, I was surfing the other day and this just washed up on the shore and I just brought it home. And it was just the strangest thing. And so my husband texts me and he's just like, I was just given this deck, like, I'm gonna give it to you when I get home. But I just thought that was so, what are the odds? Like, I'm sure people read on the beach. I've read on the beach before too, but like, for a random surfer to find it, floating in the water on his way home one day, and then to decide to take it home, and then to run into my husband just a few days later and to give it to him, was just so interesting. And so, yeah, being that, this is a new deck, I have had it sitting under selenite, sitting with a lot of things that I use in an area that I frequent often so that I could connect with it. But I haven't really used it yet. I did just pull a few cards for myself right before hopping on to do this reading. And that was even interesting too, because I pulled the Divine Feminine card, and I was also very recently gifted this figurine of the Divine Feminine from a friend of mine, which is so beautiful. And it had this exact figure on it. And so I was like, oh my God, like, it's just so much synchronicity. And so yeah, Spirit guided me today to use this deck, specifically to pick the 3 different cards for the 3 different piles that I will be doing. Just to kind of get to know it. And I think it's going to be very aligned with this energy that is coming up with this summer solstice and this full moon that are happening back to back. There's major transformation. And I feel like the shamanic healing oracle deck really focuses on and aligns with that kind of energy. So very cool, very fun. I'm really excited to get into it. It really feels good. Like, now it definitely feels like it's mine after like holding on to it and infusing it with my energy for so long. In addition to that, I'll be using my Angel Oracle deck, which I used to use in my pick of cards. If you've been following me for the past year, you'll probably recognize that deck from my earlier videos. Of course, my traditional Rider-Waite Smith deck. And then also very fitting, my Moonology deck, which I don't think I've used on my YouTube channel. I think I've only used this deck actually like 1 or 2 other times as well. So really excited about today. In addition to that, I will be, of course, like I said, picking a few cards from this deck to distinguish the different piles, but I also have some crystals that I felt called to pull for you guys. So if you feel, you know, more drawn to a crystal than a particular card, then you can pick that way. And then of course, if you feel drawn to multiple cards or crystals, feel free to watch, you know, multiple piles. There might be more details or different messages that you need to hear. And then at the end, I'm also going to roll some dice for you guys to get angel numbers. I have this set of glow-in-the-dark D&D dice, which I love. They're so, sorry, there's cat hair on everything all the time. They're so cute. They're just adorable, and they glow in the dark, which is just, I love it. And so, yeah, I just felt called to do all these different things to come on and do this reading for you guys. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much longer in the beginning here. I am going to just kind of go over the energy of the full moon and the summer solstice, as well as the sign that we're moving into, which is Sagittarius. There's definitely just synchronicity around that as well, with the full moon and summer and Sagittarius being like that fire, enlightenment, truth, expression, and transformation kind of energy. So yeah, you can definitely expect a lot of that over, I would say at the very least, the next few days, as we're still moving through this energy. The moon does have a shadow period of a few days before and after. And so yeah, I think more so than talking, ooh, okay. I think more so than talking about that right now. We doing 4 piles? I guess we're doing 4 piles. I don't have 4 crystals. But this is what Spirit just threw out of the deck. So this is what we're gonna do. You know what they're saying? They're saying, go ahead and take this pyrite right here. Okay. That works. 4 piles. So yeah, we'll get more into the energy of the moon and the signs and the solstice, like as we're reading, as it like comes up. But yeah, this will be what you can expect. So let me flip over the cards first. For pile number 1, we have Sacred Space. For pile number 2, we have Joy. For pile number 3, we have Reunion of Souls. And for pile number 4, we have Psychic Development. And if you would like to choose with crystals, let me go ahead and put those with each pile now. We have the Moonstone, of course. I want to kind of move it so you can maybe catch how it looks with the light. It's so pretty. Pile number 2, we have Kyanite, blue Kyanite more specifically. Pile number 3, we have Apatite. And pile number 4, we have Pyrite. Okay, so I'll give you guys a second. You can just tune into the cards and choose whichever pile feels the most aligned. And again, if you feel drawn to more than one, feel free to choose more than one. Hey, pile number 1. So you guys chose the Sacred Space card as well as the Moonstone. So really quick, before we read what that card means, I want to go ahead and just get all the cards together for this pile. So we're going to get 3 Angel Oracle cards, 3 Rider-Waite cards, and, ooh, okay, those ones almost flew out. And we'll see how many Moonology cards. I want to say 3 of each. Yeah, that feels good. Let's do 3 of each. What do we have for pile number 1, Spirit? Make it clear, make it obvious. Just don't slap the deck out of my hands, please. That one. Okay. It's always hard for me to say, like, oh, I only want this many of any cards because there's so much energy. But I also want to keep these pretty short and sweet for you guys. So let's get 1, 2, 3. And just trust that, ooh. Okay, this literally just flew out, like, as I put the deck down and, like, my hand touched it. I didn't even feel my hand touch it, but I guess I did. So we're gonna take it. All right, so we have a Sacred Space. We have the 4 of Cups. Wow, okay. We have all water. 4 of Cups, 2 of Cups, 8 of Cups. And then we have the Hierophant, the 7 of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. And then the Moonology, I kind of want to wait. I just want to see, like, I want that to be a surprise, because those are more like, they're Oracle cards as well, but they're more, I don't know what words I want to use to describe them, but more like answers, kind of like the Angel Answers Oracle. And so I feel like there might be some things that we need a little bit of clarification on as we move through the reading, or just a little bit more validation on that these cards will bring. So I kind of want to save that to the end and let it just be a surprise. So let's see here. 4 of water, 2 of water, 8 of water, and then we have the Hierophant, the 5 of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. Okay, first thing I'm noticing that is very interesting right now is kind of this power of 2 kind of energy. We have 2, 4, and 8, and then we have 5 and 10. 5, 5, and 10. Wow. Okay. So pile number 1, we're definitely having some sort of breakthrough regarding our passion, and our emotions. With this fire and this water energy, there's definitely, I feel like, some sort of divine union, some sort of decision making as well with that 2, like the 2, 4, and 8, and then the 5, 5, and 10. That's just like so weird that came out here. But also very, very cool too. So right off the bat, guys, as far as like numbers go, I know I said I'm gonna roll dice at the end, and I definitely still am, but like 55 is something that you guys could look up, just to give you just kind of a general overview of what the number 5 is. It's freedom and change. What else is 5? Perseverance. Seeing things from a higher perspective or from a new perspective. Yeah, so however that resonates for you, I would say definitely go look up the number 55 though and see what you find. Of course, there's a ton of different resources, so whichever one you feel called to is probably where your specific answer to that is going to be, because there's a ton of meanings for each of these numbers and cards as well. So yeah, power of 2. Okay, so we have, let me see. Four of Cups, it says missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. And then we have the Two, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. And then we have Eight, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. Yeah, so both the Four and the Eight, especially since they're on the outside here, it's definitely giving that like really amplified energy of moving on from a situation that is no longer fulfilling. Like it says, search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth, and then opening your eyes to the possibilities. I think you guys are kind of getting unstuck from a difficult situation that has been really straining on you. You might be in a place right now where you just feel defeated, very emotional, very tired. You have been waiting for a breakthrough with this Five energy. You might even be like seeking like out like external counsel with this Hierophant of like, how can I get out of this situation? How can I make this situation better? How can I transmute this with that fire and full moon and Sagittarius energy into something that it can work in my favor, you know, or something that can transform me into a stronger, more enlightened version of myself. I feel too, because of that water and fire too, that is like very intuitive, strong energy. There's also a lot of balance here too with water and fire. You know, those are opposites and elements. And so I think too, with the mirroring of the twos, like that's just reiterating the need to balance some things in your life right now. So I think with this full moon and the summer solstice, you are finding the time to balance, bring more balance into your life, your relationships, really sorting out where you put your energy. Again, with this Eight of Cups and the Four of Cups, like walking away from things that just are disappointing and like really being open to experiencing new things. Like, whereas before you might have been like kind of closed off to new experiences, to new relationships, just anything new. I feel like the focus might have been on making whatever work, but it just got to the point where it's just really exhausting and you realize you were up against more than maybe it was worth pouring into, is the feeling with the Five of Wands and the Ten of Wands there. And so now, yeah, you're definitely in a place where you're seeking new experiences, new energy, new ways of thinking and being, new people to spend your time with, new hobbies. You're really looking for that fulfillment that you maybe were trying to get out of these situations, but now you're realizing at this point that it's better to just kind of cut your losses and move on from these situations. You know, again, with that Five, that's that freedom, that's that change. You're setting yourself free from a situation that's been going on, I think, for far too long. With this Two of Cups too, just reading what the bottom of the card says, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of a conflict. I think it's so interesting that that's coming out above the Five of Wands here, which is a card of conflict. And this is outward conflict, with it being Wands. Sometimes it can be inner conflict as well. And I think when it comes to inner conflict in this regard, it's talking about like whether or not you should move on or keep trying, or just trying to make your mind up about something too. Two of Cups also can represent, anytime there's a two, can represent just decision making. So yeah, I feel like that is it almost feels like Okay, this is kind of taking me in a different direction than I was just going, but this is almost giving, like, because of the situation, I think part of the reason that you tried to stay and make it work is because you felt guilty about the choice that you made to be in it in the first place. Like, okay, I chose this, it must have been for a reason, I need to just make it work, instead of just being like, okay, I did all I could, I learned all that I could, and moving on and allowing something new to grow and develop in your life. But I feel like with this forgiveness on this Two of Cups, is saying like you need to forgive yourself, and that will help you to move on. That'll make it a lot easier. I think like a lot of the reason that those of you who picked this pile are staying in this situation is because of a feeling of guilt or shame. Maybe you feel like you really contributed to this situation going downhill or sour, but that doesn't feel like that is the case here. It feels more like the situation is just coming to a natural close because it's just time for it to close. And whether you contributed or not, like, it was always going to end up this way. So you need to just forgive yourself and not get caught up in the illusion that this is your fault or anything like that, because it's not. It just is. Yeah, I would say too, with this missing an opportunity of the Four of Cups, like, you don't want to get to the point where like you stay so stagnant that you miss out on new things that are meant to come in. Like, you're definitely with the energy of this moon and the summer solstice, it's huge new energy with the fire of both the sign of Sagittarius and the summertime. It's transmutation and transformation. It's burning everything that is no longer meant to be here to the ground. And with that, like, forming new solid foundations on healthier, from a healthier place. Yeah, it's renewal. There's a lot of abundance that's on its way into with these energies. And so it's like, are you going to keep fighting and swimming upstream? Or are you going to let go and go with the flow and forgive yourself and just move on and choose you in this situation? Because when you do that, when you choose you and you stop fighting for something that's not meant to be there, and you allow yourself to just be who you are truly meant to be, and you kind of step up to your full potential, or at least start walking in your truth and on your own path, that's when you run into these things that are coming in to bless you. And so I really feel like that is what Spirit is guiding you to do right now, with these cards here. Get creative too with the water energy, that is creativity. And then of course with the Hierophant, that's research, that's seeking higher counsel. You could be like, having some sort of awakening right now as well. And that could be some of this conflict and fatigue. It's just kind of awakening to the reality of your situation and the things that you've gone through. And again, forgiveness is such a huge part of awakening. Awakenings can be, and I would say just are, very ugly. Like a lot of us go throughout life asleep, either up to a certain point or for the entirety of it. And it takes really sitting down and being honest and vulnerable with yourself, like with the Cups energy, about where maybe you're holding yourself back, distracting yourself, being your own worst enemy, not choosing wisely, or allowing people to come in and, put this energy on you of distraction and conflict. Either way, you have to forgive yourself for those things in order to move forward and to live, from a space of love. And so, yeah, pile number one, that's definitely, I would say, like the main energy here. I want to read Sacred Space, and then I want to pull these cards out for you. So 21. right, sacred space. It says find a spot in your home or office that you can easily access. Create a sacred spot just for you. This will be the place for you alone. If space is at a premium, then a shelf or corner will do. Put here only those items that hold significant meaning to you and touch you on a deep personal level. Examples are photos of loved ones, rocks, feathers, shells. Place a candle, even if it cannot be lit. This signifies the element of fire, summer, full moon in Sagittarius, and represents the flame of Creator's love for you, the fire of creation or purification. Perhaps fire means something entirely different to you. Use this space to go to daily, even if it's just for a few moments, to ground and calm yourself. Working this into your daily routine will bring you to a place of greater understanding. So yeah, I think that's so beautiful. And if that's something that you don't have, or maybe you have and you just haven't been consistently going to your sacred space to kind of just check in with yourself and ground and just kind of tune back into the things that you love or care about, then this is just a reminder to continue doing that, or just start consistently doing that. And then if you don't have it, then I definitely agree. Like, this is so beautiful to create that space for yourself. Oh my gosh, I'm just noticing too that this is card number 21, and tomorrow, the 21st, is the day of the full moon. So this is a really sweet pile, I think, you guys. Like, I think this is beautiful too, with this, you know, energy of transformation and growth and truth and honesty and renewal and just all of that. This is very fitting. Also, too, like the sacred space card, the summer solstice also has to do with connection to the natural world. You know, this is a time where it's warm, more people are going outside, you know, getting back in touch with nature after spending time indoors through winter or even spring because of allergies, whatever, you know, allergies, rain. So the summer really is a time where people, you know, are outside in droves and they're getting grounded, going to the beach and parks and that kind of thing. So like, that could also be your thing if you don't have space in your home. Like it said, like here, you know, even if you just have a shelf or something like that that you can dedicate to making your sacred space, of course do that. But also, like, I would suggest going outside and like finding somewhere outdoors that really speaks to you, that makes you feel like grounded and whole. You know, like a park nearby. If you live near water, highly recommend that. Even if it's just your backyard, if there's a nice tree you can sit under or something like that. The beach, if you live near the beach, you know, anything that's accessible to you and feels good for you to visit that's outside, I think is a great idea too, to have as like a secondary sacred space. Because of course, you know, you definitely want to take advantage of this energy and this nice weather. And so, yeah, also I'm going to read what the Moonstone means too. So Moonstone, and this is just a few things I would suggest to, like, if you're curious, to look this up because there's a ton of meanings for all of this stuff. But the Moonstone is for new beginnings, which is what we talked about. Feminine energy, which we also spoke about with the Divine Feminine card I pulled from this. Emotional balance, self-discovery, and what does that say? Stability. Okay, I took little notes on these so I wouldn't forget. So yeah, I would definitely say you're entering that time where you're creating more stability, not just physically with all this wands, but like emotionally, energetically, with your intuition, all of that. So yeah, look forward to new beginnings, guys. Let's see what your oracle cards say from the Moonology deck. And because this is the mini, I don't have the book, but they also have descriptions on the cards. So we have the new moon in Aries. It says it's time to take action. Then we have the new moon in Taurus. Ooh, new moon. Prosperity lies ahead. So double new moon energy coming out. And then it's also Aries and Taurus. And so it's like going in order of the signs too. I think that's really cool. So I feel like I feel like that's just indicating to me like you're on the right path just to keep moving forward through the situation. Like with this 10 of Wands, you're definitely at the end. So don't stress. Also, even with the 2 of Cups and the 8 of Cups, like that adds up to 10. You're definitely at the end of this cycle of just strain and fatigue and just trying, you know, endlessly to find solutions. They're coming in the next couple of days to couple of weeks. Conclusions are within reach. Look at that. Full moon eclipse. Literally just said what I said. And then the super moon. Emotions are running high. I definitely think that ties in with all this water. It's very emotional time for you guys, pile number 1. But just keep the faith. You're really reaching the end of this situation. It's all going to be okay. There's new beginnings right around the corner. And I would say, again, just to reiterate, like to get you through this time and to sustain you, creating balance and, you know, finding a space where you feel like you can go to kind of escape and to get back in touch with yourself, that you can just walk by in your house, and like when you walk by it, it's just like, oh, all the things I love, and it just kind of gives you that little burst of healthy dopamine, or, you know, and a space outdoors because of this summer solstice energy. And so yeah, let's get you guys some numbers. I'm just gonna choose 2 random dice. Let's see what number Spirit has for you. We have 119. So I'll put that on the screen for you guys, but you guys' number is 119. I again suggest you guys go look that up, see what Spirit has to say to you. Sometimes it's just additional information, and sometimes it might align with everything that came out in the reading for you guys today. But 119 is your number. Also remember 55. I would suggest you guys look up 55. And so yeah, thank you for being here, pile number 1. I hope that this resonated. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel to help support me. If you have any questions or suggestions for other videos that you would like for me to make, then please go ahead and leave me a comment below. Oh, also, another thing that I want to offer to you guys in honor of this beautiful energy is 20% off discount with me if you would like to get a private reading. So I will put that discount code in the description box below, along with a link to my website where you can book a private session with me. And that code will be active through the remainder of June. So you'll have a week and change to book with me if that's something that interests you. And so yeah, thank you so much for being here, pile number 1. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Hi, pile number 2. Thank you for being here. You chose the card Joy as well as the blue Kyanite. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards for you guys from each of these decks. We're going to get 3 Angel Tarot cards. Okay. 3 Rider-Waite cards. And 3 Moonology cards. Ooh, okay. Oh my gosh, okay, that kind of happened on pile number 1. I went to get 3 Moonology cards and one flew, like as I put the deck down, it just flew off to the side. So if you were drawn to pile number 1 too, just for that reason, or just because of that little synchronicity there, I would say go check it out. There might be another message for you in pile number 1. And so let's go ahead and set the Moonology cards aside. I'm going to put those out at the end of the reading. And let's read these tarot. So we have the Fool, or the Dreamer, in this deck. The 2 of Swords, or 2 of Air, and the 9 of Water, or the 9 of Cups. Interesting. So definitely a new beginning for you guys. Nine of Cups. Leading toward emotional fulfillment of a dream. I would say too, you're breaking free of like indecisiveness with the Two of Cups there. Oh yeah, see the Ace of Wands definitely taking, oh my gosh, and the Ten of Cups, and then the Five of Wands. So interesting. So you have the Nine and the Ten of Cups, and you have the Dreamer or the Fool and the Ace of Wands. Wow, yeah, okay, so this is very cool. All right, so, and that's Archangel Metatron, which is the archangel of creation, manifestation. Definitely it's just kind of like, you know, whatever you're asking for right now is being brought through into the physical with this Ace of Wands, Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups. Like it says your wish comes true literally on this Nine of Cups card right here. Concerns fade away, a love of life. Like absolutely, this is like finally you've reached the end of a cycle, especially with the Fool card or the Dreamer card. That comes after the last card in the major arcana, the Wheel of Fortune, and that is like, or no, sorry, the World, not the Wheel of Fortune. That's interesting I said that though, because the Wheel of Fortune is like a shift in energy, and that's kind of what is happening here. But the World card is the last card of the major arcana, where it's like, you know, you've gone through so many different trials and tests, and you finally reach the end of that energy, and you're reaping the benefits of all of your hard work and your time. And so now you're able to finally, you know, start walking a new path with the Dreamer, something you've not experienced before. That's that full energy. Is just like going into this entirely new experience after just, you know, working tirelessly toward, you know, bringing more stability and love and light into your life. And it's here with the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups. This is your happy ending card. This is your wish coming true card. And then we have this Two of Swords and the Five of Wands as well. So let's paint a fuller picture here. So like I said, looking at those angel tarot cards at the top there, with this, it's like you're finally breaking out of indecision and you're taking a leap of faith toward your happiness here. It's like it's finally within reach, or you finally have the means to take this on. And that means could be like physical or spiritual, you know, just having so much faith, and there's so much synchronicity, or just like I'm getting to just like random out of the blue opportunities or offers too. Which is kind of the Ace of Wands energy. Aces and pages, the Fool is, you know, the culmination of the pages. And so it's like, I feel like so much is finally aligning for you that you're finally able to take a step forward with this Two of Wands, because it is kind of mirrored by all of this magical goodness. I do feel like this is something that is kind of coming to a close for you. I don't, like, if you've been trapped because you've been afraid, you didn't want to look at your reality, you didn't want to look at the situation for what it was, or make a decision because you're afraid, like, if I choose either one of these, like, what if it's the wrong one and it just makes things worse, you know? I feel like you're finally moving out of that. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Two of Swords is illustrated as a girl with a blindfold over her eyes, and that represents her ignoring the situation. But I feel like that blindfold is being ripped off for you in some sort of way, where, like, again, you're able to see the situation clearly. Like, God has even either given you signs or given you like something physical in order to help you know that you're safe, that you're moving in the right direction. Or something to just, I feel like, take you out of this situation completely is the feeling too. Like, you're just being plucked out of this difficult situation and put into like just a completely new reality with, again, that Fool energy, this new reality. Plus you have this Joy card. I don't know what this means yet, but I mean, the word joy in itself is pretty self-explanatory. There's also, I think they're butterflies. I don't know what has like 3 wings like that, but it kind of looks like a butterfly and a dragonfly. I don't really know. But I know butterflies are transformation. And again, like that's kind of, I feel like butterflies really resonate with the death card in the tarot, which is that same energy of moving out of something that's just really difficult, uncomfortable, just no longer resonates into this like path of enlightenment and fulfillment. And so pile number 2, I feel like you guys are really on the right track as far as that goes. Like you can kind of relax with this new energy of the summer solstice and this new moon in full moon in Sagittarius. I think there's going to be a lot that like becomes so much clearer with this energy here, with the energy of the summer solstice and that fire of even the sign of Sagittarius. It's like things are really clearing out for you, becoming like very obvious. You're able to really like fully, I would say, like express yourself. I'm just thinking about like the sun energy and fire energy is just like that full passionate expression. You even have this with the Ace of Wands, like that's kind of that energy too, where again that full passionate expression of self, all of your needs and desires being met. I think because you're showing up fully and more authentically as well. Not holding yourself back anymore with that two of swords. I feel like too, like anything that was like holding you back with this 5 of Wands energy is falling away. If you've been kind of up against certain odds, or just really struggling to like really show up and be again like that full authentic expression of yourself, I feel like you're just kind of breaking out of a cage here with all of this energy here. Like it's so positive, aside from of course that 2 of Swords and the 5 of Wands energy. You know, overall this is a very positive reading. So again, like if you've been feeling just at odds, like I think just like there's just been again like some sort of indecision for fear of making the wrong choice or fear of what other people might have to say about it or think about it. Maybe it doesn't seem like very rational. Maybe they feel like you're just acting off of just like, you know, pure naivety with the Fool card or the Dreamer card. But because you've been taking this risk, it's like Spirit's like, okay, like because you've gone by faith, because you've been trusting, because you've not given up on the things that you like want for yourself, you're being rewarded is the feeling of like this energy of pile number 2. Even on the Dreamer card, you can see, well, both of these, look at this. It says a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. And then this one says your wish comes true, concerns fade away, and a love of life. And it's like, yeah, you've just been like, regardless of how hard this situation has been, how scary it's been, like, even if it like has appeared like you've been ignoring it, you've not been ignoring it at all. You've been doing all that you can to move out of this situation. But you've also had the faith that regardless of what happens, you know, like Spirit is here with you, guiding you, and that there's a reason that you've been in this difficult situation. Like be that reason even just to test your faith. Sometimes we are put in difficult situations to see like, you know, do you only trust in God? Do you only believe in, you know, the things that you believe in because you've been in a good place? I actually, oh my God, I actually literally just watched a video, and I'm not religious, you guys. I'm spiritual. That doesn't mean I'm new age either. I'm just spiritual. I follow my own path. But I think it's the story of Solomon from the Bible, if I'm not mistaken. I literally just watched this, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please, because I don't really like know for sure, but I was guided to watch this, and I do believe it was the story of Solomon. And it's just like his life was so favored, and he had everything, a beautiful family, like healthy land, money and riches. And I think it was that some of the angels went to God and they were just like, oh, Solomon only loves you and has all this faith because his life is good. What if you take it all away? Is he still going to be faithful to you? And then God's like, you know what? Let's see, you know? And then unfortunately, you know, all of his family, all of his riches, everything is taken away from him, and he's left poor and destitute and suffering. And it does get to the point where he starts to question things, but and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that he does remain faithful when all is said and done. And then after all is said and done, after he gets to the other side of this hardship, I'm getting like emotional like repeating this, and it's gonna be really silly too if I'm like thinking of the wrong story entirely, but this really resonates with me. I'm like, damn, this is my pile. But it's like after going through so much hardship, after having everything that he loved and worked so hard for stripped away from him, because he kept his faith, because he continued to maintain a relationship with God regardless, he was given everything back and more. So like everything that he lost, he no longer got it back, but he got like a better version of it back. And that sounds kind of fucked up. It's like a better version of his family, but it's just like, not to say that, but it's just like, you know, he got all of his wishes came true. Unexpected opportunities, like he was richer than he was before. He had more land than he had before. He had more animals. Like, you know, back then it was like, you know, you had a farm or whatever, you know, everything was just like better than it was before. And that is what this pile is making me think of. I think that's so beautiful. And I think that's why this joy card is here. And so I'm going to read from the Shamanic Healing book what this joy card means, and then what the Kyanite represents. And then I'm going to get into these Moonology cards here and see what those mean. So 42. Joy. Is this the last card? Okay, no. Says, we are created in joy. The balance of energy and higher vibrations brings us closer to divine love, pure joy. Joy can be a destination, but it can also be the vehicle that you use to get to that destination. Faith, grace, gratitude, and love all merge together at different times and in different amounts to create joy. There's love, growth, tears, change, and self-realization in this card. This card portends a happy and joyous time. So yeah. Wow, yeah. All that's illustrated here, this 10 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Fool, the 9 of Cups. It's like every doubt that you've had going through this difficult time, you're just like, God, like, am I doing the right thing? Like, did I do something wrong to deserve this? It's like, no. Your faith has been being tested. And now that you've gotten to the other side, now that you've continued to persevere, that you haven't given up on yourself, you haven't given up on your beliefs, you haven't given up on your path, it's finally going to be rewarded. You're finally going to be rewarded. You're finally going to understand why it all had to happen. And you might even already understand why certain things had to happen. You might already be like, you know, kind of wrapping your head around, okay, that's why that occurred. That makes total sense. You know, I'm thankful for this lesson. And it's almost like, you know, sometimes, and I say this all the time, you know, like you have to be prepared before you receive certain big blessings. Preparation can look like the removal of people and places and things that could snatch it away from you or keep you in a vibration where you're not really aligned with that blessing. And so when you get it, you're not able to handle it, and then it's squandered or you lose it, or, you know, it ends to something that you don't really want to be experiencing. So it's like you're going through all these trials, not only to test your faith, but to prepare you to be able to handle this and for it to last long term, you know? And I think about situations like this too, you know, nature and spirit, you know, everything operates, I think, in duality. You know, for everything there is an equal opposite thing. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. And so it's like that yin and yang, masculine, feminine, you know, duality of things where like you've experienced a lot of difficulty. Maybe you have had just a hard life in general and you finally got to the point where you're just like, okay, cool, I've made something of myself, I've healed, I've done this and that, and things started to go good, and then all of a sudden it was like snatched away from you. But it's just like, for everything that you've experienced that has been unpleasant and difficult and scary, you're going to experience the opposite of that now. That's that world card where that energy, that karmic cycle comes to a close, and you're entering into this new thing that you have not experienced, which is just happiness and joy and opportunity and passion and following your dreams and not being afraid anymore. Joy. And so the Kyanite is it's awakening to the truth, which is so in line with this Sagittarius full moon energy. It's cutting emotional ties to the past, so releasing pain around all the things that you've gone through, growing, healing, peace, compassion, and understanding. And so again, like all those things I just mentioned, where it's like you like finally you're just like, okay, this makes sense. And it's just like, wow, that thing that lesson I learned during that really difficult time has prepared me to make the right decisions now with these crazy, insane, beautiful things that I'm receiving right now, you know? Knowing better who to trust, where to put your time and energy, what to, this is kind of where to put your time and energy, but yeah, like what to invest in. And I think like I say that in like a deeper way, it's like what you actually want, what actually makes you happy, what's actually aligned with you. Like, and I feel like too, when you're put in a lot of really raw situations, you really get to know who you are at your core. I feel like the choices that you make when you're put into a difficult place really helps to understand and define you as an individual, as a soul, at a soul level. So now you're ready to receive these big things because you know who you are and you know how to trust yourself above all, because you've been tested time and time and again from this difficult place. You've had to trust yourself and spirit, that together you guys will make it to the other side of this. And so this is really freaking beautiful. I'm enjoying this. All right, so let's get into the oracle cards we have. Hold your vision. I think that's saying like focus on the things that you want right now. I think spirit's really paying attention to what things you're trying to manifest and to like bring them in. So make sure you're really focused on that. Again, like it's like a very difficult time for a lot of people. Like just collectively, there's a lot of energy that's moving through us. And so try not to get stuck focusing on the fear and hardship that you're moving out of, because it's coming to a close. Focus on what you want. Nothing will come of the situation. I think that's speaking to your fears as well. I don't think nothing is going to come of this situation. Like, this is a beautiful reading so far. I think it's totally saying, like, again, like, don't focus too much on what's happening around you physically right now, because it's literally, like, about to end. So don't be like, oh my gosh, like, what's going to happen, da da da. Like, don't let your fears overcome you. Yeah. And look at that confirmation. A personal issue reaches resolution. So again, don't worry about it. It's not going to get worse. Things are only moving up from here, and you and your loved ones are safe. Both of these, we have the new moon in Cancer and the full moon in Cancer together. And so yeah, you're safe. There's resolution coming. The situations that you're in that are hard and difficult, they're coming to an end with the nothing will come of the situation. Just like focus on the things that you want to be experiencing right now, because God is listening. Okay, so let's get some. Okay, so you guys, look at the number really quick. Let's see, pile number 2. We have 1, 150. So 150 is your angel number, pile number 2. I definitely recommend you go ahead and look that up. There will be some additional meaning for you personally. It may align with what's said here in the reading, or it may just provide some other information that you need. And just trust, your intuition when it comes to whichever source you go with to, define what this number means. It's going to be different, at different sources, but this is a good exercise of just feeling things out. Whichever one feels right for you is the source that you should trust. There's a ton, and I'm sure there's a ton of meanings for 150 as well. So just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And so with that, pile number 2, I thank you guys for being here. I love you. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. If you would like to support my channel, please subscribe to my channel, save the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Also, in honor of the summer solstice, I am offering a 20% off discount of all private readings through the rest of the month. So I'm going to put a discount code down below in the description box, and a link to my website where you can book with me. So yeah, if you would like to get a one-on-one session, go ahead and follow that link. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day and good luck. I'm so excited for you. All right, bye-bye. Hi, pile number 3. You chose the Reunion of Souls card, as well as the Apatite. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some tarot cards for you guys from the Angel Tarot deck. We're gonna get 3 cards. God, make it clear, make it obvious. 1, 2, 3, okay. 3 Rider-Waite tarot cards. And 3 Moonology cards. Okay. We're going to save the Moonology for last. Let's see what your tarot cards say. We have the 7 of Swords, the 7 of Air, the Chariot, and the Page of Water, or the Page of Cups. And let's see what Rider-Waite has to say about that. We have the Strength card, the 4 of Wands, and the King of Wands. You guys, Wands have been like, of the Rider-Waite deck, I think we've gotten Wands every reading so far. I'm trying to think back to pile number 1, but I'm pretty sure, like, as far as minor arcana goes, it's been all Wands. So yeah, that's very interesting. That's very cool, because this is a summer solstice reading. The fire is coming through, it's showing up and showing out. Okay, so you have 77 right off the bat, 7 of Air, and then number 7 in the major arcana, the Chariot. So guys, I would highly suggest looking up number 77, or if you've been seeing number 77, then that is just confirmation that this is your pile. Yeah, that's super cool. So yeah, Reunion of Souls, 7 of Air, the Chariot, and Page of Water. 7 of Swords and Page of Cups. Okay. So just looking at the Angel Tarot cards at the top here, it definitely looks like there is some movement happening with the Chariot card. But with the Page of Cups and the 7 of Swords, I definitely feel like if you're feeling like you aren't, if you are having a hard time deciding which way to go right now, because of uncertainty, or I would say the primary feeling right here is actually uncertainty, but like in different forms. Like maybe you just don't really trust yourself, or you just don't trust that what you've chosen is really the right thing for you. or maybe you feel like you're rushing to, like the Seven of Swords energy can definitely be rushing or premature action, that kind of thing. I would say definitely take your time right now with this energy of the Chariot and Seven. Again, that's like very fast moving energy. Seven is supposed to be like more slow moving, patient kind of energy. And so, yeah, I would say like, it's not that you need to necessarily like slow down a hell of a lot, because it does mean like, you know, I feel like with the Chariot, this is like, okay, like you can take action. And even with these wands down here, you know, that's pretty fast moving energy, passionate energy. But I feel like you need to be moving more from like an intuitive place with this Page of Cups here, like really leaning more into your intuition. The feeling too with it being the Page is like you're not used to trusting your gut. You're used to like really, like I would even say overthinking a situation. Maybe even with the Seven of Swords, like you do that because maybe before you trusted your gut and it got you into trouble, because Seven of Swords can also be like, you know, just like not catching everything before making a decision. It does say like poor decision making, or more going on than meets the eye. And so it's like you overthink situations because you're afraid that if you don't, then you're going to miss something and you're going to mess up and you're going to regret it, and then you're going to be, you know, ashamed or whatever the case may be. But I feel like you need to lean more into your intuition. I think the part of the reason that you are making the wrong decisions is because you're not trusting the guidance that you're getting from Spirit with the Page of Cups. I think it's the Page too, again, because it's like you're really new to that. It's not something that you traditionally would do. I think like too, like with what I was trying to say before about like maybe there was a time in which you did like trust your gut, but it didn't work out in the way that you thought it would. That kind of left you kind of scarred and scared, and that's why you overthink situations now. But there's a difference too, especially with this Wands energy, like there's a difference between like trusting your intuition and acting on a whim because of like passion or something like that. Maybe this has to do with like a prior relationship that you entered because you felt like strongly about it, but your intuition and your emotions are not necessarily the same. They can be very similar, but your intuition, I would say, is more objective, and your emotions are more like elusive, I would say. And so right now, I think that you're being given an opportunity to lean more into how you feel in a spiritual way. And to make decisions based off of that versus like really overthinking things. Because I feel like no matter how much you overthink a situation or try to plan it out, you're never going to see everything. Like things just don't go exactly the way that we're hoping or that we're envisioning. They just don't. Just never the case. Even if it's a good way, you know, it's like there's always going to be some sort of surprise or something that like, you know, you just didn't foresee. And so it's like there's no point in like spending a ton of time trying to figure out every little detail that could possibly, you know, affect the situation. I think like you need to get to a place of like balance. And the Chariot, ooh yeah, the Chariot with that being in the middle is like definitely that energy of balance too. Especially, well, they do have the black and the white horse here. And so yeah, that does represent like balance of both action and receiving, the masculine and feminine kind of duality there. I would say too with these cards at the bottom here, you have the Four of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Strength card. Yeah, there's definitely, I would say with the King of Wands and the Strength card, it is giving like that energy. First of all, this is giving balance too with the Four of Wands and those pillars of wands there. But also it's like Strength is Leo, and then the King of Wands, that is fire signs. I want to say, I don't remember if it's Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius specifically, but it's fire signs. And so, yeah, I feel like you are being called like to just be more confident in general right now. I think this time period in your life, this summer solstice and this full moon moving into Sagittarius, is helping you to be more confident. It's giving you opportunities to exercise your trust in yourself, to choose things that you really want instead of the things that you like, you know, that feel safer with the Seven of Air. I do feel like you're being called to just like be strong with the Strength card as well. Like, I think you're a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for. I think you're a lot more capable and more intelligent than you give yourself credit for as well. I feel like a lot of energy too of like seeking outside of yourself to, yeah, I'm getting a lot of energy of like seeking outside of yourself. You just don't trust yourself is the feeling here. I think the summer solstice and the new moon in Sagittarius is really bringing that to the light to help you really build that stronger connection with yourself and your guides. And again, you're being given opportunities to test your faith and to renew that sense of like courage with all this Leo energy and stability too. Like I feel like God really, really wants you to learn this. And so with this Four of Wands card, I feel like when you do start making decisions based off of like both your intuition and logic, not just strictly logic, because if you really think about it, like, okay, logic exists and yes, it matters, but like there's no way to really know everything, or, you know, why we're alive and how we're alive and all this other stuff, you know, like there's just no logical way that you can like, you know, calculate answers for things like that, you know, like certain things, they're very nuanced, they're very spiritual, you know, it gets into the world of the metaphysical and that kind of thing. It's just like you have to have balance in between both. You can't just be strictly like, oh, I can prove this and so it matters and that's all that, you know, should be taken into consideration, because it's not. You know, there's mystery to everything. You know, everything has two sides. And so it's like, I think God's like saying, you know, once you get to the place where you balance this out is when you're going to start seeing the results that you seek. But until then, you're going to continue to be, I would say, like in this cycle. But I don't think you're going to stay in this cycle, guys. Again, this is like what is coming with the new moon, or the full moon, sorry, and the summer solstice. And so I feel like what's coming is you moving out of this energy and into this place where you're taking the right actions. Like, I feel like the Chariot too, like you can see kind of in this card, like this horse's head is kind of tilted toward the front of the card, where this horse's head is kind of tilted over there. And in the Rider-Waite deck, the Chariot, it's similar, where they're sphinxes, not horses, and they're facing kind of like this, and it represents like yes, it can be movement, of course, but it also can represent like being stuck or halted because of indecision. And so I feel like with that combination of energy and just that in mind, like with the Seven of Swords and the Chariot, it's like you might have been like in this cycle of being stuck and then overthinking a situation and then like it going wrong because you overthought it, or maybe you missed a detail, or maybe even just because you had such like strict expectations of what was going to happen and then that didn't happen. And so you just were just like stuck, you know, it just really bummed you out, made you afraid to choose again, made you afraid to take risks because you didn't get exactly what you wanted. But that's just not how things work. And so I think like you're being given the opportunity to let this go and just take risks and trust in yourself, and you're going to be rewarded with the stability that you're looking for. And the blessings that you're looking for too, like because you finally learned how to work with both of these energies instead of strictly focusing in one place. And so I'm going to read what this reunion of souls means. And then also with this apatite, that is for intellect, growth, manifestation, and removing negativity. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of in line with this, with the intellect especially, because swords represent intellect, and then the removal of negativity. Like, I do feel like, you know, this pile, you might be stuck in just kind of like you're just feeling doubtful right now. I mean, or you may be like finally moving out of that. Of course, with this energy, you might already be kind of in a place where you're moving out of this energy. But again, like your manifestations are starting to come through, like as you finally balance and allow your truth to come through, like move from a space of passion again and not just fear and, you know, logic and reason. Like that's not all there is to life. And so let's look at reunion of souls. Oh, that's also number 7. Oh my gosh, I didn't notice. Okay, so 777, guys. It's further confirmation. Please look that number up in addition to the number that I roll for you guys at the end of this. But 7, reunion of souls, 7 of air, and then 7, the chariot. So 777 is a huge number for you guys. So let's see, reunion of souls. There's a school of thought that says before our souls come to earth, we make contracts or agreements with other souls. At one point in time, we appear in each other's lives to assist those involved in learning a lesson, being a catalyst for a needed change, or to share a profound joy. When a person comes into your life to teach you a lesson, no matter the human form, no matter the human experience, this agreement is based in love. The human experience may have been painful and extremely challenging. Acknowledge the depth of love needed for this contract to take place, and then let them go. The experience may have been profoundly moving, but ended abruptly without reason. Again, be grateful and move on. Cherish the lessons and move forward into your life the way it is meant to be. Alternately, this card signifies a profound soulmate relationship, whether it be between lovers, friends, or parents and children. Cherish the given gift. Okay, first of all, yes, that's beautiful. It's saying to move on from the situation. Again, like I talked about earlier, like you might have felt like, I mentioned, I think like maybe a relationship where you chose something and it didn't work out, and now like you just overthink every situation, and that's got you kind of like stuck here instead of moving forward. But this is saying to be grateful and move on. What can you learn from that situation? Really consider why you experienced that. Really consider like the bigger meaning. Look at the forest instead of just staring at the same tree, you know, indefinitely. It's not going to change, but you can. You can change how you view it. You can change the choices that you make. You can change how you make choices as well. You have to trust yourself. It's so important to have a happy life. And I think, you know, God is really ushering in this opportunity for you to learn how to trust yourself and be more true to yourself. Be strong. Learn to love again with all this fire energy. Transmute that pain into something positive. And so, yeah, it also is saying like this card can signify a profound soulmate relationship. And then if you look at the page of water, it does say a relationship begins a new phase. Can you see that? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, guys, like just trust yourself. Trust yourself. So your oracle cards say, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Surrender to the divine. Yep. And it's time to take action. Yeah. Set yourself free. Surrender. Release the pain that's attached to your past in these situations. Like, I feel like I need to just say this, like, plainly. You're not a fuck up. You're not a fuck up. You didn't fuck up. Okay? Like, there's a reason we go through these trials and these tests and these situations. Like this said in the book, like, you know, we have soul contracts. And I personally believe that, you know, we do choose what we're going to experience here. Like, you know, just like I said, like, you know, look at the forest and not just the same tree. Like when you're seeing from the higher perspective of your soul from the other side, you can really see like the purpose of things, especially like throughout lifetimes. It's not like this is the only time that we're here. And I believe that as well, you know, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. I do believe that we choose like, okay, I'm ready to continue forward on my journey as a soul and go back to earth or wherever to learn the next lesson or to become more divine, more like God. You know, learn how to love, heal from the things that I experienced the last time I incarnated, all of that. And so it's not just, you know, this is not all there is to everything. And so it's like seeing it from that higher perspective, like what is your soul meant to learn from the situation, not you just as like a human individual. Okay, so pile number 3, that is your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, wait, one sec. Let's get a couple of dice. Get an angel number for you. Again, 777. One, and you have 64. So pile number 3, your angel number aside from 777 is number 64. Please go ahead and look that up. There's going to be additional meaning to go along with your reading with that. Of course, trust intuition. This is an excellent exercise to practice what this is saying. Trust your intuition when it comes to this. Just choose whatever source feels right, whichever one you feel called to. Don't go like citing sources and shit. You know, like, oh, this is cool. Just trust your intuition, okay? And whichever one you are drawn to is the one that you are meant to receive at this time. And with that, that brings your reading to a close. If you enjoyed this, please like it. Please subscribe as well to help support my page. If you have any questions or suggestions for further videos, go ahead and comment down below. Also, guys, I would like to offer to you 20% off of personal readings. If you would like to get one of those, that's in honor of the summer solstice today, the 20th. So 20% off if you would like that. I'll put the discount code down in the description and a link to my website as well where you can book with me. So with that, pile number 3, thank you again for being here. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for being here. You guys chose the Psychic Development card as well as the Pyrite crystal. So I'm going to go ahead and get you a few cards from the Angel Tarot. From Rider-Waite. 1, 2, 3. And Moonology. So that one, that one, that one. Okay. We're going to save the Moonology for the end here. All right, so Angel Oracle, you have the Life Experience card, which is equivalent to the Tower, 7 of Air, and the 6 of Earth. So 7 of Swords and 6 of Pentacles. Also, guys, pile number 3 also had the 7 of Air. So if you were drawn to that card, I would highly suggest you go ahead, or drawn to that pile, I would highly suggest you go and check it out. You also have the Sun. Ooh, Justice. Look at that synchronicity there, the scales, and the 4 of Swords. This is, I think, the first pile where with the Rider-Waite, we did not get any wands. I think every other pile was all wands as far as minor arcana goes. If I'm remembering correctly. Maybe pile number 1 wasn't, but yeah. Anyway. So we have Life Experience, 7 of Swords, and 6 of Pentacles. And I'm going to save the Moonology for the very end, guys, just to add some, like, clarity to the reading. So, yeah, guys, I think a tough situation that has been going on for a very long time, where there's been, like, a sense of uncertainty, a sense of fear, maybe there was like a lot of urgency to like maybe stop this situation from going in a particular direction. Maybe you noticed it kind of crumbling around you, or that it wasn't going in the way that you were hoping, and so you've been trying to rush to prevent that. or find solutions, create more stability. I feel like that's finally coming to a close for you guys with this life experience and Seven of Air card. Life experience, the Tower. It does say here a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change and time to spread your wings. But the Tower in general is like an ending where a situation is just abruptly coming to an end. But it's always going to be in your favor. After that ending comes like healing and rest and recovery, and like because this thing has been removed from your life, you're finally able to like balance and enjoy your life again. You know, it makes room for the things that you really want to experience to finally usher in. And so this is a good thing. It's like, you know, no more scrambling, no more trying to like rush through this situation, trying to find answers, being stressed out, you know, just feeling like all the odds are against you with this particular energy here. I feel like that's finally coming out, like being taken out of your life, and now you're coming into a period of balance and rest and truth. Oh yeah, so much truth with Justice and the Sun. These are both major arcana too. And then even swords energy, you have the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords. Swords represent truth, expression, and personal power. As does the sign of Sagittarius, that's truth. And then the summer solstice and then the full moon, all of that represents like, you know, things coming to light. You know, being a full expression of yourself, like in the Sun card here. And so it's like you're finally getting the opportunity to do that. You're finally getting an opportunity to relax, is the energy here, especially with this Four of Swords. Like you finally can just like let your hair down and just be happy again. Finally, like the scales are balancing here. You have both the scales and the Justice card, which represents that Libra energy, and then the Six of Pentacles. Like your hard work is being rewarded. You're being rewarded for you know, persevering, for continuing on this journey, even though it was hard, even though it was stressful. You know, you didn't know when it was going to come to an end. You didn't know how it was going to be resolved, because maybe it feels like you've tried everything. But it's like God's like, okay, babe, you know, I got you. Like, we're going to finally, you know, remove this from your life so that you can rest. We're going to give you what you need so that you can survive, even more than you need, it feels like, with the Sun card and the Six of Pentacles. Like the Six of Pentacles in that card is like you have an abundance, and so you're able to give back. So it's like either you're going to be gifted in abundance. I feel like either way you're going to be gifted in abundance, but it's like somebody coming to like save you, or some situation just kind of miraculously like lifting you up out of all this chaos. Yeah, look, it says gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, and paying off debts. So like if you've been really stressed out about money, or just your stability in general, it's like God's bringing in like some sort of miraculous blessing in the very near future to help bring more stability to the situation, so you can finally like just be happy again and just relax again. You can kind of hang up all your worries with the Four of Swords. This is like, you know, all these things that you've had to like juggle, and you've just been overthinking, and you've been stressed out, and like you just weren't able to find answers again, so you're like rushing and like maybe cutting corners and like, you know, taking what you can get out of a situation because you feel like that's the only option you have. Now God's giving you options. Now God's like, you know, making it so that you can really choose what's on your heart, what aligns with your truth here with the Sun and the Justice card coming out. And, you know, also definitely like this period of rest before taking that on. So yeah, I don't know, this card, this is like definitely like a lot more straightforward than the other piles. Like I feel like this is just God saying like, you know, you're finally reaching the end of this struggle. You finally like have I think learned how to balance too. I think part of like why you've been in this chaotic situation is so that you could learn how to thrive in chaos. And maybe you don't even feel like you're thriving. Maybe you're just like, I'm hanging on by a thread. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, but it's just like you've managed, you know, like you kept going and like you've gotten rest where you could, you know, like you're making sure that you're doing everything you can to keep this situation going, to keep from, you know, completely breaking down and falling apart with this Tower card. But it's just like, you know, this situation is meant to break down and fall apart. Not in the sense though that like it's going to end in like destruction and demise, but it's just like it's going to end in blessings for you. It's like the situation that's crumbling is the struggle, is the stress. Yeah. Finally able to like fully live in your truth, fully embody who you want to be, having the means to do it. I feel like too, like for some of you, there could be a legal element to this. Like this could be, yeah, there was like a random click in my house that feels like confirmation. This could be like with balancing of the scales, like maybe like there's a shift in energy. This could be something you're aware of or not aware of, but like there could be something where like there was an injustice and the scales are balancing in the way that like maybe there's a lawsuit that you're about to win. You might not even have any idea. But maybe that's the case, and like that could be the financial blessing. It's just like bam, you get like some unexpected money, like it says, gifts of money, time, or effort, or truth comes out that leads to these things. But yeah, God is definitely bringing in the balance that you very much deserve after doing so much up here to try to just keep things afloat, you know, to hold things together. There's so much balance and happiness here, pile number 4. And so let's see, I want to look back and see what pyrite means. So pyrite is a stone of protection that shields you from negative energy. It also is, it's fool's gold too. Like people refer to pyrite as fool's gold. So it also represents abundance, security, connection, good fortune, prosperity. And I feel like that's just so fitting with what this is talking about. Like, you know, there's some sort of blessing coming through that you're just not seeing or expecting. Maybe you've been praying for it, but at the same time kind of just like, you know, like fat chance that's going to actually happen or whatever, but just like it is. You know, God hears you. You've been doing all that you can to stay true to yourself, be, you know, a good person. You know, you're not lying or cheating or, you know, putting anybody at jeopardy to fix the situation, even though like you might be scared and really stressed out and just tired. You know, you're still going about it in the best possible way, you know, in a balanced way where, you know, nobody's getting hurt, nobody's suffering for your sake. You know, you're doing your best, and that's being rewarded. And so, yeah, like you're being protected from this situation. You're being like sucked out of it is the feeling here. And so let's read what this psychic development card means. That is number 5. So change. I think it was pile number 1. Oh, look, you got 7, 7, 2, 16, and then 7. So interesting. I was gonna say pile number 1, I think had 5, 5 in it. But then there's also pile number 3 that had 7, 7, 7. So if you were drawn to either of those, I think pile number 3, yeah, also had the 7 of swords. So definitely check pile number 3 if you were drawn to it. But noticing that this is card number 5 too is kind of telling me like if you guys were drawn to pile number 1, yeah, I'm like doing all the maths. I'm like, oh wait, but then 6 minus 1 is 5 too. So yeah, if you were drawn to pile number 1 or pile number 3 or both, check them out. And so 5, psychic development. The energy and healing work you are doing now will enable you to heighten your sensitivity to the energy around you and others. This will assist you in developing discernment. Discernment is the feeling you get in your body that signals you to whether something feels right or wrong, your sixth sense, your gut feeling. The situation you're inquiring about is asking you to use your discernment. You do not want to take on others' energy, yet you do not want to close yourself off out of fear. Envision energy flowing through you like water. Take on too much and you can sink. Closing yourself off offers a very different energetic experience. When you let the water energy flow as it will, and neither embrace it or fight it, you are truly in the flow. Remaining at this elevated energetic vibration will allow you to tap into the realms of your psyche. Alternatively, this card can signify a pull to take classes, workshops, or read books about psychic development. Cool, guys. So maybe that's something too that you might be just like going, like adding to that last bit about like furthering your education around psychic development. That could also be something that you get to do during this rest period. Like, you know, now that you finally have, like, I would say, like, more stability, that affords you more time as well, where you can invest into yourself. And so if that's something you feel called to do, like, definitely do that. Yeah, but use your discernment when it comes to this situation as well. Like, I think what that's saying too, like, when it comes to this blessing that's coming in, definitely, like, ooh, I would say, like, keep it to yourself for a little bit. And trust, I would say, like, when it comes to what to do with this blessing or how to move forward after receiving it, like, you definitely need to trust, like, your own intuition when it comes to that. Like, I feel like there could be the element, especially with the Seven of Swords coming in, like, if people do find out, they might try to use your blessing to their advantage when they're not really deserving of receiving it. Especially with this element of, like, with the Six of Pentacles, like, you're receiving so much, you're able to give back. Just, like, really think these things through. And trust your intuition when it comes to that. Don't just, like, you know, oh, I have all this abundance now, let me just give. There needs to be balance in this situation. Give to the things and the people and the places where, like, there will be a return. That's not to say, like, you know, only help people out, like, if you know you're gonna get something out of it. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's just, like, you know, don't give to vampires, you know, like, give to causes and people and things that are deserving and that, like, really make sense long term, that, you know, are going to be grateful and aren't going to be, like, constantly draining you of resources, be that, like, physical or spiritual or mental, like, whatever those resources are. Like, just really take into consideration, like, what the outcome would be of pouring into those things. And so let's see here. With the Moonology deck, we have communication is key with the new moon in Gemini. Your commitment is being tested with the first quarter moon. And have faith in your dreams. Oh, that one's really pretty with the waxing crescent moon. Your commitment is being tested and communication is key. Yeah, this communication is key is bringing me down to these swords, the Seven of Swords too. I really think this is definitely saying to, like, going back to that discernment, like, use your discernment with that Gemini about, like, who you can trust at these times. Don't be paranoid, but, you know, just, like, just pay attention. Really tune into people's intentions as well when it comes to, like, their connections with you. Your commitment is being tested. What is that giving me? Your commitment is being tested, and have faith in your dreams. This is kind of giving, because of this have faith in your dreams, like, your commitment to yourself. I think, like, you really are, like, yeah, your commitment is being tested. That kind of made me laugh what just came through, but it's just like, no shit. It's like you're being given this opportunity to fulfill your dreams. You're being given this opportunity to make something that you have been wanting to create for a very long time a reality for yourself. Use it. Do not squander it on a bunch of illusions and a bunch of people who don't deserve it, or, you know, just like waste your time and like waste all this energy that you put into the situation. You need to put it to use in a way that makes sense. And look at this. Look at that imagery of the fairy with the green wings and then that butterfly and the flower. It's just so similar. That's pretty cool. And so yeah, that's definitely making me think about like when you come into this blessing, like put it to good use. You're being given it because a call was heard as far as what you were trying to create: stability, prosperity, protection. And then we also have this psychic development. This is giving too, like, hey, if you were wanting to start a business around your psychic abilities or whatever the case may be, like you're being blessed with the means to do that or to maintain it. Just don't squander it. So with that, guys, let me get a couple of dice here. Your angel number. And we have 106. So pile number 4, your angel number for today is 106. Also, because of these numbers that we have up here, the 55 and the 77, definitely look those up as well. But your angel number with the dice is 106. So I highly recommend you look that up. Trust your intuition as far as which source to go with when looking up what that number means. And that can help to provide more clarification around your reading and what you need to hear today for the summer solstice and full moon moving into Sagittarius. And so yeah, pile number 4, thank you so much for being here. That was your reading. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to support my channel, please subscribe. If you have any questions or comments about this reading, go ahead and leave them down below. Also, before you go, I'd love to let you guys know that I am offering a 20% off discount for private reading. So if you'd like to get a personal reading with me, you can follow the link down below in the description box, as well as using the code that I'm going to put down there to get 20% off. That will be valid through the rest of June. And so, yeah, guys, if you guys like that, go ahead and check it out. With that said, I will see you guys next time. I love you so much. Thank you for being here and have a great day, guys. Bye.